What's up, squad? You guys may be familiar with my boy Matthew Pillmore. He sponsored a few videos with me in the past, and we're gonna be doing some more work in the future. He's gonna be talking to you guys again about this amazing real estate opportunity. I'm here at his property in Buena Vista, Colorado. We're here for a week. I'm having a great time. Again, man, thanks for inviting us out, bro.
Love you. Guys, love you guys too. Actually, I had a chance when Brix was in Colorado the last time to go to a meetup, meet you guys with the Brix squad. You guys are just the best, man. No joke. I have a pretty large community on YouTube as well. So I know what it's like to have kind of this family relationship. And one of the things that Brix and I had talked about is just up-leveling money at the same time as up-leveling health and how the two always go together. Yes, so Brix is out here helping me get more physically healthy. I'm always helping him get more financially healthy, and we're always bringing everything we can to you guys too. And one of the things that we did was create a playlist about this really cool real estate option. For those of you that have ever had an interest in real estate, it's an amazing way of spending just a few hours each and every day to really create a life-changing amount of income for yourself. As much as $30,000 each and every month, no credit, no capital. It's a completely different option than I had ever seen before, and we talk all things cash flow on our channel. So check out the channel, check out the playlist, change your financial future.
Yes, sir. Miss Corsica.
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for agreeing to do this. I'm excited about this. I dove a little bit into your content, and first of all, I want to thank you for doing what you do, because it takes a lot of courage to be that vulnerable with some of the most intimate parts of your life, right? But it's very important that you do it. So whatever I can do to help you, with your mission, please feel free to let me know. You got my number now.
Yes.
And not even on no camera stuff. Like
right.
I mean that 100%. It's very important. Also, where should I start, man? Because there's so many questions. there's so many questions, and it's a lot of questions that I get asked. Okay. So it's going to be very interesting for me to get someone else's perspective, someone who has a very similar story, but it's also very different. I mean, obviously we're different sexes, but being vegan, and I don't know much about veganism. Mm-hmm. When I think veganism, I just think carbs. and I know that's wrong, right? And I admit I don't know much about it, right? But that's what I think, and it makes it hard for me to picture where the protein sources come from. But anyway, that's not where I want to start this.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's not where I want to start this off. So just tell me a little bit about your story and what led you to the point that made you say, listen, I want to change my lifestyle.
So I was one day sitting on the porch with my ex-husband, and I'm a mother of 4. I have 4 children.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm a lot older than what most people perceive me to be. I'm in my 30s, so most people perceive me to be a little bit younger. But I was sitting on a patio with my currently my ex-husband, and he snapped a picture of me. It was the summer of 20, maybe 16, like the spring going into the summer. Mm-hmm. And when he showed me the picture back, I said, is that me? Mm-hmm. And he said, yeah. And I said, well, I gotta do something about this. Like, why didn't nobody tell me that I had reached this, I didn't see myself in the same light. So literally, and also it's crazy, the next day I got up at 7 a.m. and I hit the Campostella Bridge. I literally went back and forth across that bridge every day until I got to a comfortable weight. And it would just be walking. And it wouldn't be long. It would just be, I would walk across the bridge and then walk back home. Mm-hmm. Walk across the bridge and then walk back home. Well, when I got to a point of like 50 pounds down, which was like in a month and a half.
What? Hold on. Yeah. You lost 50 pounds in 45 days?
Yes. 50
Let me ask you this: Were you pretty much were you way under eating? Like, how many calories were you taking in?
No, I wasn't way under eating. I actually just switched from eating off an adult plate to my children's plate. And then I cut down my carbohydrates and avoided your sugars, the sodas. And I'm one of those people. I like to eat a whole bunch of carbs. I was like that person that pasta was my go-to. That was my comfort food. Anytime I was stressed out, I would reach for like Italian food, breads, pastas. So I literally just cut all of that out and went from eating on a big size plate to a smaller size plate.
So what did you eat? Like what was your
my daily meal? Like, so if I got up in the morning, I would have spinach and a protein, which would be like tofu or something, or I would have my key was like apple cider vinegar, green tea, spinach, and then some kind of form of protein every day. Then lunch would be, I didn't like just doing salad, so I would do like a chickpea, like tuna, and I would do that on a flat out wrap. So literally I was lowering carbs, but I was still eating plenty. I was getting all of my additional like meals, proteins in on a regular basis. And the weird part is I worked at a place in MacArthur Mall that's closed down now called Brewster's Chicken, and literally when I was at work I would just eat a wrap with like lettuce and all the vegetables. Before I knew it, I had lost 50 pounds, and I was just like, wow.
But to backtrack, right? You guys heard, she said all she did in the beginning was walk.
Yeah.
And I try to tell people that. Sometimes I get clients who are significantly overweight, they have back problems, they have knee problems. I'm like, bro, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by attacking your nutrition slowly,
right? And
you're just gonna walk,
right?
But people don't believe that it can get done with taking those small, tiny steps, and I think it's so important to highlight that building upon those very small steps is very important, right? Very important. Right. So you lost 50 pounds in the first month and a half,
right?
That sounds amazing, right? So let's talk about some of the pain points during your journey, though, like missteps, or like did you gain any weight back or anything like that?
No, I felt like I actually didn't gain any weight back until after I reached the initial 100 pounds. That I gained a little bit of weight back. But that's because most people, when you lose a certain amount of weight, you feel like you get comfortable and then you backtrack on eating habits. But initially in the beginning, I think my head was so focused on getting to a healthy goal. So I would make small goals for myself. I wasn't that person that was like, oh, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. That was never my goal, to lose 100 pounds. My first original goal was to get to 200.
So what'd you start at?
264 pounds.
Okay.
So my first goal was I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to 120. Because when at 120, I felt like I was at a good weight in my head. So it's like 120. So then 120 came, and I was like, okay, I want to get to 100 pounds. And then 200 pounds. When 200 pounds came, I was like, okay, maybe I should do 180. Well, when 180 came, I was like, okay, 180 is fine. Let's try for 175 pounds. Let's see how that looks. So 175 pounds came, and I was like, okay. I didn't even try to lose any more weight after that. I just continued to be active, and I got addicted to working out. So being in the gym, being active, that kind of like led me into this lifestyle that I currently live. And the next thing I know, I was at 160 pounds.
So hold on, because you're making this sound so easy, right? You're making it seem like, I mean, not because this is your journey. I mean, but that's not the narrative. That's not the story for a lot of people who have lost so much weight. So did you have any failures in the past that kind of led to you like, enough is enough, I'm no longer gonna BS with this?
Yeah, I definitely failed before. I've tried every diet that most females try. I did the Oxycut and the Blue Bottle, I can't think of the name of it, but I was always been overweight. I was an overweight teenager, I was an overweight kid. In high school I danced, but I was always the bigger girl. I was active, but I still was overweight. I had horrible eating habits. I'm from the South, I'm from Georgia, so we eat all of soul food, pork, all like as much stuff as you can think of. So it wasn't easy. Definitely my thing is the working out was easy. The emotional part was the part that people don't see when you talk about weight loss journeys. So you go from knowing who you are to not knowing who you are to trying to understand who you are in your life as you grow, especially being an adult, being a mother. It definitely was not easy at all for me. I am making it sound
You're making it sound easy,
but it really wasn't. I went through a lot of emotional stuff. I am divorced. I got a divorce because of my weight loss.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so go into that a little bit.
So, I was married. I got married at 17. We had 4 children together. My whole life he known me as a bigger girl. So when I decided to make healthier choices, he would do stuff like bring me fried chicken in the middle of the night, or go buy my favorite desserts, knowing that
He's trying to sabotage you.
basically, because he was saying that my self-esteem changed.
Was he overweight?
Never. He was a smaller guy, pretty fit. He was naturally fit. I mean, guys are blessed with fast
did he
metabolism.
just like big girls?
He just liked bigger girls, but I also think he liked the mindset that I was in as a larger girl. Not saying all larger women have self-esteem or confidence issues, but yeah, and I was one of them. I settled for what I could get based on me feeling like that's all I deserved. But as the weight dropped, you start to see a little difference in yourself. You start to understand that you can do more things. I talk about on my Instagram being strong, and how working out can actually mold and shape you for future, for your life, for careers, for businesses. And in the beginning, I didn't understand that. So him literally trying to sabotage my weight loss, it eventually led to us to get a divorce. It would be times where he would tell me, "Oh, you way too small. You look like a crackhead." And I'm like, wow. And he would again, buy food that wasn't necessary to have in the house, and just, it wasn't a healthy relationship. Let me just say it like that. I'm not here to bash it, but it wasn't a healthy relationship, and that was some of the reason why I had got to the highest weight that I was, because food was comfort.
Yeah.
And
because a big part, I can relate to that. A big part of the reason why I gained weight was depression. I was in a very toxic relationship. I was in a toxic relationship with myself,
right,
first and foremost. Confidence issues, all that. But to backtrack a little bit, it's very important. This is what I tell my clients. This is what I tell people who ask me for advice. The culture in your household, your significant other, plays such an important role in how successful you are with your weight loss journey, whatever your specific goals are, and that applies to everything in life. And that's one of my philosophies. The principles of fitness, the principles of weight loss apply to life.
Yes, I totally.
No matter what, to relationships, to building a business, finances, whatever. The principles apply across the board, and having that culture, having that support system at home is so key. So for the people, and I've been in relationships where we live different lifestyles. My ex, she was smaller, but she wanted to drink every night, be social, go to parties and eat out every day. I'm like, listen, I can't do this. And she didn't want to meet me in the middle. And I'm like, listen, I X'd that out. I couldn't do it. But a lot of people, they have a hard time cutting the ties to the things that are holding them back. And I understand that, but I think you have to prioritize yourself. You have to prioritize your health, especially when you're a parent like us. So for people who are in situations that are holding them back, and I know it's probably going to be hard to give them advice, right? Because you and I, we're like, listen, this is it.
You gotta go. Right.
But that's not always as easy for someone, So what do you suggest to them?
Love yourself. And I know it's not going to be easy, but you can't you can't love someone if you don't love yourself. At least in my opinion, because if you love yourself, then you'll understand what you're worth.
Yep.
How can you love someone else when you don't understand your own worth? You may lust in them, you may care for their well-being, but if you don't care enough about your own personal well-being, you can't give them 100%.
Exactly.
So I would just say, if that's the right relationship for you at that time, remember that is it you loving yourself, or is it you giving them more than you're giving yourself? Yeah.
Okay, so I think one of my things is exercise and good nutrition is one of the best ways you can show love to yourself, right? But a lot of people, they do it for the wrong reasons. They do it specifically for weight loss. They do it for aesthetics.
Right.
And I believe if that's the number one reason, if that's the thing that drives you, I don't think that's that fuel is not gonna be enough.
No.
Right? So how does a person who's in that mindset kind of make the switch mentally? How do you explain to them the true value of this lifestyle?
It's longevity. Like looks only last forever, right? You only can look good, but for so long.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to understand that do you want to live healthier so that you can live longer? Especially like us, we're parents. So I want to live my best life so that when my children have children, I'm still here, right?
Yep.
And the only way I can do that is to eat right and exercise, right? Because when you eat right and exercise, it actually increases your lifespan.
Yep.
You live a lot longer. You look a lot younger. So when you 80 years old and you constantly still on the same path, it might not be exactly what you're doing now. You have that ability to stretch for future, right? And physical looks, again, will fade, but having that ability not to, first off, worry about high insurance, because when you sick and overweight, or your insurance is way higher. You have the probability of having high blood pressure, diabetes. We could go on with different type of diseases. So if you think about the lifestyle, you think about the life as a lifestyle, not just a diet. People always say, because I'm vegan, I want to touch on that. Because I'm vegan, they say, oh, well, you're vegan because you wanted to lose weight. No, I'm vegan because I feel like it helps me live a healthier lifestyle. It allows me to gain the muscle mass that I need for my body so that I can function properly. So it's a lifestyle that works for me.
Yeah.
You have to find the lifestyle that works for you, again, so that you can live longer, have a healthier outcome at the end of the day.
And see, this is one of my things too. Like my goals, when people ask me, what's my fitness goal? I want to be 80, 90 years old and be active, right? Walking around in the park with little shorts on, pissing people off,
right?
while I'm on my little jog. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's what my goal is. And then the second half of our life is when most of us get our paper right. You feel what I'm saying? So what's the point of being 50, 60, 70 years old and you got your money right, but you have no health?
Right.
You can't do nothing. You can't. The whole second part of your life, you can't really enjoy it as you're supposed to, because people are thinking about right now.
Right.
Most of us, we're in our 30s, we're in our 20s, some of us in our 40s, we're not thinking about 60s and 70s and 80s. But that's gonna creep up on us.
Real quick.
And the decisions we're making right now, we're gonna have to answer to those decisions later on in life. But so I tell people, we gotta have a macro view on this. Like, we can't just think about now.
Right.
People think about, they give up, what they want eventually for what they want right now. And people have to make that switch mentally. All right, so one of the biggest questions I'm asked is about, of course, my cardio. How much cardio do you do? How much weights do you do? I'm pretty sure you get that question a lot too.
Yeah.
And you mentioned in the beginning you were doing mainly just walking, just cardio. So what's your training regimen like now?
So I don't want people to do what I do, but currently my training regimen is 2-a-days. Just because I work at a gym. So, it's a little bit more, I'm at work most of the time at 5 a.m.
Don't do 2-a-days.
No, don't do.
You don't have to do 2-a-days.
Don't do that. No, please don't. That's what I said. Don't follow.
She has acclimated. She knows her body.
Right.
She's went through her process already.
Right.
So now it's a choice.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure she has a very clear intention for it.
Right.
So just to be clear.
Yes, please don't do 2-a-days.
Yeah.
I want to eventually do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So that is,
See,
I want to compete.
Yeah.
I want to do what you did.
Yeah.
I want to have my first amateur show because I've lost so much weight, just to prove that you can be larger and get smaller and still compete. That's the only reason why.
There you go.
Please.
Just to clarify.
No 2-a-days, people. But for people who are not doing 2-a-days, I feel like if you start, and this is what I do, I start my workout with at least a mile run. That's just where I'm at now. You can start off with the walk just to warm your body up. So I do a mile run, And then I go into my days. I don't do full body workouts. Again, that's just me. I do days. So I might do legs on this day, back on this day, shoulders, abs.
How many days a week do you train?
I would train 5 to 6 days.
Okay.
5 to 6. It just depends. Yeah.
5
5 to 6 days a week. And then I always end, for the ladies who are always talking about butts, I always end my workout with the Stairmaster. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing you hate the most is what you should do the most.
I think that's the machine that gives you the most bang for your buck.
True.
Straight up.
True.
I honestly don't like intensity when it comes to cardio.
Uh-huh.
And I think without giving much intensity, you get
way.
Yeah, you get way more impact.
You can burn about 500 calories up there if you're up there for a good amount of time.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if that's the only thing you're gonna do and you're not into weightlifting, I would say do the stairs for maybe 30 minutes if that's all you have time for. 45 minutes. It's just really up to you.
I want to buy a machine to put at my crib.
You should.
Like, I really want to. All right, so let me ask you this. So, have you ever tried intermittent fasting? Let's just start there. Have you ever experimented?
I currently intermittent fast.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. So what's your eating window?
So I do, what is it? 24. 24.
So you have a 4-hour eating window.
Yes.
Wow.
Always. But that has varied. Again, you figure out your body, because at first I was doing a 16 8 and then I did an 18 6. I said it right. Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah. So I was doing that. So it varies, and again, like I said, I'm cutting because I want to eventually do a show. So my eating window is a lot smaller. But normally I don't have my first meal until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I have my last meal around, depends on like the day, 6, but never after 8 o'clock. That's just me. But I just recently started intermittent fast. Well, I kind of done it back and forth once I discovered you and a few other YouTubers about intermittent fasting, and I did my research to see what works for my body.
Yeah.
People don't understand. We can watch Brix all day and try to copy exactly what he does for him, but unless you're getting one of your custom meal plans or work, you don't know what works for you. Yeah. You have to do what works for you. And currently my intermittent fasting window works for me. And like I said, it varies. I go from 4 to 6 or 8 hour eating window. But my thing is, because I'm a woman and we tend to hold more body fat than men do, don't eat after 8 o'clock. That's just
what you found works for you.
Yeah.
That's not no.
Yeah, no,
you know,
that's just for me.
And that's one thing I say to people all the time. Like, you have to experiment. You have to turn your body into a science project. You have to experiment, and the only way to figure out what works for you is to be consistent over a long period of time, doing many different experiments when it comes to macros, when it comes to calorie amount, when it comes to exercises, styles of eating. When it comes to all that stuff, you have to experiment with it. So that's good to hear. So listen, guys, it's not just me saying this stuff. You have to experiment. All right, so you almost lost 100 pounds. That's one victory, right? Right. Give me a bonus. Right? That's one victory. The second victory, which I think is just as important, is it's almost been 3 years that you've had the weight off, right?
Right.
That's so. What do you feel like the difference between getting the weight off and keeping it off? Because I feel like they're both.
It's both
tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting the weight off is tough because you don't understand what to eat, but maintaining it, to me, is just a little bit harder. Because I mean, I can drop weight so much fat. Like once you get it, you can drop the weight. Yeah. But it's maintaining the weight. It's because we still have lives, we still have friends, we still have family. You still want to do stuff. Not everybody wants to get up every day and work out. So it's just finding that motivation to keep you going, to say, hey. In my head, personally, it's for me not to be ill, because of the simple fact that before I was 20, when I was 25, they were telling me that I was borderline diabetic, and I had high blood pressure. And okay, the older you get, the more that's a risk. So my thing is, if I want to stay healthy, if I want to I want to maintain what I have going on right now. So coming up with a, normal workout regimen, having I meal prep just because it's easier for my life, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have time. I would be grabbing fast food. But, meal prepping, the consistency, let me say that. I feel like consistency has helped me keep off the weight and maintain where I'm
that's
at
the
now.
key for anything. And that's one of my philosophies, consistency over intensity. And I think your story is perfect to kind of highlight that, because you went from simply just walking over a bridge to now you're doing 2-a-days,
right?
Competing, preparing to compete. So what was that transition like? Because yes, I think there's a place for intensity in fitness. Like you need it. It all depends on what your goals are. Right. But in the beginning, I think the fitness industry has taught so many people, like, you gotta go hard or go home.
Right.
Or, you gotta be in the gym lifting everything, right? In the beginning, I really feel like intensity is not, I don't suggest people being that intense in the beginning, right? So can you explain how you went from just walking to now doing 2-a-days?
Well,
like, what was that like?
To be honest, I never stepped foot in the gym until a summer or two ago. I didn't go to the gym to lose my weight. I literally, like I said, I started with the walk. Once I got down and the walk my heart rate wasn't rising enough, then I would walk even longer. So I went from doing the bridge to walking past the bridge to the McDonald's on Campostella and Indian River. So once I got to walking to the McDonald's, I would walk down Indian River. So I would just slowly add more time to the workout. Well, I dropped the weight. I reached like 175 pounds by my birthday, which was in October. And I was like, okay, let's up the ante. So only thing I did was add a jump rope. I would jump rope. And then the jump rope got good enough, and I was like, well, let's try some sit-ups and let's try some crunches. Just little stuff that I did at home. And then I was like, okay, squats. You download the apps and you do squats. It was really, I never lifted any weights or went to the gym until I reached, I want to say 90 pounds down.
Wow. And that's a perfect example of that philosophy. Like, you just start with where you are.
Right.
You want to make it as convenient as possible for yourself. You want to make it. You don't want your weight loss efforts to interrupt your life too much. Right. And you can start off doing, like she said, she was just walking. Then she walked a little bit further. And she added a little squats. Like, it's a building block, and it took time. Well, for you,
it still
took
time.
Have it quick, but
it did still take time, because then after the walk-in and the sit-ups, then I would run a street light, and then I would walk a street light. Then I would run a street light, and then I would walk a street light until I got to being able to just completely run it. Yeah. So, do people treat you differently now? I'm pretty sure they do. Right, so can you talk a little bit about that? Everybody treat me differently.
Yeah,
I'm not the same. Okay, I'm not the same Corsica that. So I'm not from here. I don't have any family here in Virginia. So everyone sees my weight loss journey on social media, Facebook, Instagram. A couple places I worked at before I lost the weight. They treat me completely different. Men especially, but we're not gonna talk about that. But I get treated totally different now. I have friends that say I have positive outcomes from it, then I have negative outcomes.
All right, let's speak a little bit about the hate, right? Because that's something that I experienced, not just with weight loss, but just how my life has changed in general, right? I have a heart for people. I love my family, my friends, strangers in the street. I want nothing but the best for people. But then I have people who come at me like, oh, Brix, you changed, you think you better. And I'm like, I don't even know where people get this stuff from. Right. So talk a little bit about your experience with that sort of thing.
I get, you think because you lost weight, you all that. And I'm like, I'm still that same old girl. Like, I haven't changed. So, examples. So me and my ex-husband sister were like the best of friends. We were thicker than thieves.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I lost the weight, it was like, oh, you think you too good. I mean, just because I don't drink all the time, or I don't want to eat certain things because I know what it'll do to my body, doesn't mean that I no longer am the same person. It's just I'm thinking longevity.
You are not the same person, and it's okay not to be the same person. I understand what you're saying, though, right? But that narrative, I think we have to change. Everyone should be looking to evolve,
right?
Like all of us. So I think what happens is you probably woke up her insecurities, make her feel a little less of herself,
right,
which isn't your fault, but you are challenging people. You're kind of eliminating a lot of the excuses that people have in their head.
True.
You feel what I'm saying? And that
Right.
makes people uncomfortable.
Right.
And honestly, listen, for everybody on their weight loss journey, understand that you're gonna get backlash from friends and family, especially when it comes to, social gatherings.
Yes.
And why are you not eating this? Or why?
Well, it's even worse when you turn vegan.
Yeah.
Like,
I can imagine.
when you go vegan, it's even worse.
I can imagine.
Especially being from Georgia. You go vegan, like my family, my mom, like, you don't eat what no more?
Yeah.
What? No ribs, no pork chops. I'm like, nah, I don't eat that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is interesting.
Do you bring your own food?
Yes,
I've done that.
Yes.
I've shown up to Thanksgiving, and here's the thing, like stuff like my aunts, they were like, "Yo, that's extreme." I said, "Listen, do you see what I was able to do with my body?
Right.
It took some extreme measures to do that.
Yes.
It takes some big sacrifices. It takes some big planning in advance, right?
Yes.
In order to stay on course. But people are so locked into what they feel like is normal, or what they, their habits. And a lot of this is cultural.
Right.
Just like you explained, you're from the South, y'all grew up eating,
all
whatever
the
you
stuff.
ate.
Yes.
And just in the Black community in general, man, I think we have a bad relationship with food, period.
I agree.
And it's not just Black folks. It's Americans, period.
Right.
But especially, like, I grew up poor. Like, we didn't have much money at all. So it was a lot of ramen noodles. It was a lot of Kraft macaroni and cheese. If it took more than 15 minutes for my mom to prepare it, she pretty much didn't make it.
Right.
And that's what my palate, listen, when I first tried to lose weight, quote unquote healthy foods was nasty to me. I'm like, oh, I can't eat kale. What the hell is kale? Like, that I would look at stuff, and it wasn't until I tried to open my mind and try different foods, and that's honestly made weight loss really way easier for me, right? And that's something that I don't think I've ever really talked about that, right? That's because Black folks, we have this set of food that we like, right? And then there's the healthy foods that really don't fall in that category, that people look at and be like, yo, what is that? When I open my mind, right, and some of the stuff I eat nowadays, I'm like, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I wouldn't even wanted to smell it,
right,
let alone eat it. But it made adopting a healthy lifestyle so much easier, being that I had an open mind and I retrained my palate, right? That's a big thing. Because a lot of the quote unquote macro-friendly foods or healthier foods, they taste as good to me now.
Right, but they don't taste good initially.
Initially, no. And it takes some time to retrain your palate in order to enjoy that sort of thing. But I connect how good I feel, right? I pay attention to how I feel when I eat certain things. And most people's baseline, right? They say, no, I feel fine.
Right.
They really feel shitty, right? But shitty is normal for them.
Because they don't know.
They don't know how good they're supposed to feel or how good they can feel if they cleaned up their diet and they add a little activity. So I advise people all the time, like, if there's a fast or something you can do to just clean up your diet consistently for a few weeks,
do it.
Do that. That's your baseline. That's how you should feel. Now judge how you feel when you eat a double quarter pounder with cheese to how you feel when you're on your game nutritionally. Right. And I tell people all the time, pay attention. Pay attention to how these foods make you feel. Because that's for me, right, it eliminated the desire. It made it less appealing
Right.
to eat that stuff when I know in the morning or right after I feel like shit.
Yeah, that's how I feel with sugar.
Yeah.
That's just, I feel like I literally have a hangover when I indulge in too much sugar. The next day you wake up and you be like, what? I got hit with a brick?
It feels that way.
Yeah,
It feels that way.
Yeah, so eating proper, I mean, I totally get it. Like,
And it's hard because it's addictive.
it is.
I mean, it's like crack. It's
It
like
is.
cocaine
It
straight
is.
up.
Because once you get that one, you like, I need another,
Yeah.
and another, and another. But that next day when you wake up and I literally feel like I was drinking, and I don't drink. I literally feel like somebody smacked me with a brick and put me to sleep, and I woke up with like the stuck face. Like,
Nice.
but I love sweets, so you know that again in moderation.
Yeah. All right, so let me ask you this, because I get asked this question a lot. I'm pretty sure you do too. The loose skin. I have loose skin. People ask, like, how do I prevent having loose skin? Did you think about loose skin while you were going through your weight loss journey?
Yeah, I mean, because again, I watched a couple YouTubers, but it really wasn't like primary on my mind. Because if that was the case, I probably would have did a little bit more weightlifting in the beginning, because it's supposed to make you tighter.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's no way that you can
Really prevent it.
Yeah.
If you have a significant amount of weight to lose, it's kind of hard to prevent it completely. But I've had people tell me, I don't want to lose a bunch of weight because I don't want to have loose skin. And I'm like, so you rather be fat than be healthy and fit with loose skin?
with loose skin, and it is not even as bad as people make it seem. I mean, you may have some insecurities about it, but you have way more insecurities by being overweight.
Exactly. Being overweight.
Than to have insecurities about a little bit of loose skin, which 90% of the time you can hide.
Yeah, exactly.
It's super easy to hide. So, I mean, I have a good amount of loose skin, and I mean, that's normal, like you said, with people who lose a extensive amount of weight, you're gonna have loose skin. So, I really don't think there's really much you could do to.
So let me ask you: if you had the opportunity to get it removed, would you?
I don't know. I'm scared of surgeries.
Yeah.
I contemplate, and we talked about this when I met you. Just like you, I contemplate back and forth. Do I want to get it removed? Is it that big of a deal? Again, like I said, it's for the most part hideable. The only time I worry about it is like when it's beach season.
Yeah.
Because then you're walking around in different type of bathing suits. I mean, at this point, I've lost a lot of weight, so I don't want to wear one piece. But you know, if it was really that big of an issue, I would just wear one piece. Do I want to get skin removal surgery? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I still have a lot more of my fitness journey to explore before I decide if that's something. I mean, that's a lot of money too.
I'll tell you.
It's a lot of money too. So.
But Corsica, thank you so much. I really appreciate
No
your
problem.
time.
Thank you.
And like if I want to continue making content with you, if there's anything I can do to contribute to your mission, please feel free to hit me up.
Most
like I said.
definitely.
And I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button. As always, subscribe, share the channel, and as always, guys, I'm just trying to share the wellness. So get well and get well.